Hello and welcome to the solution for the class activity song lyrics. In this activity, you're going to create an API route that will serve the data needed for a Plotly chart, and then you also need to create a pie chart using the Plotly.3 JSON to fetch data from your API. And the API here will be your local machine. Let's look at our solve solution to see what our final outcome will be. And this is a lyric frequency of a popular song called Never Gonna Give You Up. You'll have the most common phrases or lyrics of that song shown here on the right, and then the number of times they appear in the song as shown here with the values, in this case 4, and that occurs 11.8% of the time, and so on with all the other frequencies. In this activity, you're given 4 files. One is the index.html file, lyrics.py, and the app.py file. And you also have a lyrics.txt file. So this is the lyrics that we'll be populating. So we're going to count through all of these lyrics every time they appear. We'll use a count module with Python that will count each line. So in your app.py file, you're going to need to build a dictionary of the lyric data that we can use to build a Plotly chart. And then we're going to take that data and then we're going to write code using D3 and populate a pie chart with that data. Also, we'll be importing a function from this file. This file is lyrics.py. We're going to import the function getLyrics on our app.py file. If you look at our app.py file, we'll see that we have from lyrics import getLyrics. And so that's importing this function getLyrics on the lyrics.py file, which will bring in all of this code. And then we'll run our Flask app, and then we'll go ahead and run our homepage route, which will render the template index.html page, and then our route will be /pi, and when we call that route, we'll run the function define Rick, and then this is going to build the dictionary of the lyric data and return that data as a JSON file. In this part of the file, we have this code down here, and this is just mainly for testing purposes. So if you wanted to find out what this data will look like when you run this counter module, we can look at the output here. So if I run this in the terminal, I can see what I am reading in this lyrics.txt file. So I'm in my Python environment, and I'm just going to run the Python lyrics.py file, and this is the output by printing the labels and value. What we're doing in this code is that we're doing a line.strip in this file handler. So here's a file that is going to contain the lyrics.txt. For line and file handler, we're going to do a line.strip if we're able to do a line.strip. So if we look at our lyrics.txt file, we'll see that we have some spaces here between specific stanzas of this lyrics, and so we're not going to count these. We're only going to count the lines where we can strip them from this file. This code down here is just going to run that function getLyrics. It's going to unpack the labels and values using the asterisk lyrics.items. So this is going to be, as we ran this code down here, we have 2 lists here. The first list is this tuple, and then we have another tuple here. It's going to unpack these tuples from the counter lyrics and print them out. So in this code, I just printed out the labels and values, and then I printed out the lyrics. And so this is the first part of the code that you saw before. Here, we're actually printing out the dictionary of the key of the lyric and the value of how many times it occurs. And so this is what we're unpacking with the zip lyrics.items. And then we're going to return these to our D3 JSON on the pie chart. First thing we'll do is build the dictionary of the lyric data that we can use to build the Plotly chart. So this is just a trace, and we're going to get the labels, the keys of labels, and those will be our labels from the song lyrics and the values from the number of times those song lyrics appear, and we're just calling the pie of chart. And then we'll go to the index.html file to code for the D3 portion to return our data. So here, just using d3.json, we're calling the route is /pi. We're using the then function. This function is a success handler. So on success of our data being called, we will populate the pie chart. So the title will be lyric frequency, and we're using the pie ID on the index.html shown up here. And then we're calling our data that we have from our app.py file, and the layout is going to be the pie. And then we can go ahead to our app.py file and run this in the terminal. Navigate to our local host and refresh. There is our data. The number of times those lyrics appear shown here is lyric frequency, and they're shown over here on the right. And that is the solution for the class activity song lyrics.